The festival in the desert has been going for 8 years now and is truly one of the remotest spots to get to. Determined tourists and the nomadic Touareg people gather here every year to hear an amazing showcase of Malian music, from desert blues to traditional griot songs. Some of the biggest names are playing this year, including Fakoly, Tinariwen and singer Khaira Abi. It's taken 3 planes, a 4x4 and a breakdown, but finally I'm here. I've even been shown how to wear a traditional scarf in true desert style, but nothing has prepared me for the whole desert experience. This is the Touaregs arriving at the festival, which means the opening ceremony is going to kick off probably in about half an hour. As you can see, there's probably, I'd say, an estimate about 250 of them all riding en masse at the moment. That's the sound of a camel. So we're in front of the main stage, but the only stage here at the Festival in the Desert. The Touaregs that you just saw, probably about 250, 300 of them, are lined up around the site waiting for a couple of people to make speeches, including the mayor of Essakane, which is where we are. And then it's on to the fun. One of the things I've noticed that I really like is that Touareg people seem to have quite a lot of respect for the women here, and the women were sat down in rows in the audience, and everybody else had to stand behind them to watch, just so that they could see the performance properly. Meanwhile, the men were sat on camels dotted around the sand dunes. Sunset is a magical time in the desert. The light is just beautiful and the sky opens up to reveal a million stars, and that's when the music kicks off. The way that they dance to the music here almost looks like it's out of time, because it's so slow and really nonchalant and just really sort of relaxed, and they don't seem to keep to the beat of the drums. It's something in there that they find in the way they sort of move. It's day 2 at the Festival in the Desert. We're in our tent at the moment. It's very, very hot outside, and it's also very, very basic here. There's not very much electricity, so it's completely black at night. We've seen some amazing music. Vieux Fakoly headlined. He played with they call it the Friends of Ali, who's his father. So he didn't play with his usual band, which is probably him honouring the tradition of the festival and what it meant to his dad. And we saw a great band called Tamaquist, who are a Touareg group, who are very young, sort of 17, 18, and a bit like Tinari when they play traditional Touareg music, but they play it with electric guitars. There's only one stage here, but there's music everywhere, all over the festival, all the time. It's great, it's really wonderful, and it's almost better than what goes on the stage, but not quite.
We are in Timbuktu, in the desert, in Sahara. Ladies are and have always the priority. First, well, let me add something very important, which is true. Timbuktu is a town known as the best cuisine of Africa. Nobody knows exactly how many sauces they can make in a year. You can spend 1 year every day they make for you a sauce. This is true.
I like this festival because it gives this country more tourists to come to visit. And we are living because of tourists, because I'm 12 years I'm guiding. But makes me 5 times I'm come here in this festival. I know it's too cold, it's too hard to get here, but I'm still surviving. And I always wish to get more people and more to come to Mali, to come see this festival in desert.
Today is day 3 at the festival. Last night we saw some amazing music. We saw Basakou Kouyaté, saw Abdoulaye Diabaté, which was one of my favourite performances of the festival so far. And we saw Tinariwen, who were the secret headliners. And so it was a pretty exhausting evening. I didn't even realise it was about 3 o'clock in the morning by the time they finished up. It's the last day of the festival. We got Tiken Fakoly, who I think he's just going to go off. They absolutely love him here. He's the reggae artist from the Ivory Coast. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that, not so much because I'm a fan of his, but because I want to see how the crowd are going to respond. And you live in Bamako now, but originally you're from the Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire. Is it too dangerous for you to return home?
To live in Ivory Coast. It was dangerous before because, I told you, I'm trying to say what most of the people want to say and they don't have the possibility to say. So people like me cannot live in a country where there is war. This is why I leave my country for my safety. 5 years of war, some people become rich and most of the people become poor. So I think it's important today all the poor people be together and fight against the politician.
A lot of people use the festival in the desert as an excuse to come to Mali in the first place, and of course they all come here by different means. We heard about these English travellers who drove all the way from England, and we've managed to track them down. This is Effie.
Hi.
Effie, where did you drive from?
We drove from Hackney in a Mercedes 300 TE station wagon, and it's an amazing trip. It has been so far really nice, smooth, except the part where the car broke down. But apart from that, yeah, it's really interesting. It's
You've only had one breakdown?
Only one.
I think that's quite good here.
I'm proud to say. But it's really a great way to travel. You get to see so many more things that you would never imagine if you just flew in the country.
Behind me here are some of the toilets at the festival. These are the ones we're using the most because they're quite near our tent. As you can see to the side, there's water that is sometimes there, is sometimes not. The toilets themselves are basically just holes in the ground, which is kind of understandable, and also really they're not that much worse than anything that I've seen at Glastonbury, to be honest with you, and they're supposed to be proper toilets.
wa femi bi malo iba for fla femi bi same iba for fla femi ba iredon iba for fla femi bi gasido iba for fla fly de no no kene fla wala.
This is my first time here in Mali, and well, I have never been something similar, and it's exciting to see these different cultures and all of things related to the festival.
Well, here we are again at Timbuktu Airport. It feels like it was a long time since we were last here, but actually it was less than a week ago. And I think looking back over the last few days, I can't believe how much we've seen and how much we've done, and it's been really overwhelming on so many levels. I feel very thankful for the people that I've met, being introduced to the Touareg culture, which was really fascinating and very beautiful. They're very respectful, quite sophisticated people that it was enjoyable to be around. The music was fantastic. And now we've got a long journey back to London, back to Heathrow. I'm thankful for having been able to have a shower and wash my hair and have a little bit of sleep in the last couple of hours. And I think by the time we get back to London tomorrow, it's all going to feel like a bit of a dream.